Good morning, guys. I hope you're all doing great. It's a beautiful morning down here. The heavy rains are gone, and all is left is beautiful lawns and blooming plants. I have a number of errands to run today. I'm going to be spending the better part of the day at my place, just trying to turn it into a home. I have a few grocery shopping to do, and there's some furniture I had ordered, and I need to pass by the workshop to just check how far they've gone with it. I really enjoy my time on these country roads. There's never traffic, and it's just a smooth ride always. The weather is a bit moody this morning. Looks like there's still some rain in the sky, but at least we know it's not the kind of rain we've had in the past month. I have never seen so much rain in my life. I haven't baked bread in a while. I just realized I'd run out of yeast. So I'll pick some yeast and just a few things. It's not the major shopping. I'm just doing a top up before the end of the month. Quite strange how fast the weather can change. I've just arrived at my home and it's so sunny already. And today I'm greeted by a new bloom from my red hibiscus tree. This is the first flower and it is so beautiful, guys. If you plant things, if you plant trees or anything, you know what that first flower means. Quite exciting. So I'm just clearing my front yard in readiness for moving in. And recently I harvested some arrowroots. Unfortunately, I planted them right in the front yard. I had no hopes of moving too soon, so I had just put them here to make use of this space. And I'm glad we are getting food out of it. So I'm transferring them to the main garden. These are the ones I harvested the other time. And the thing about arrowroots is it's the same plant you harvest from that you plant again. So I've moved them to the main garden where I will be doing all my vegetables and everything. So basically I've allocated a quarter of an acre. I have 1 full acre, but quarter of it will be left for the garden and the woodlot. I don't know if you've ever planted arrowroots or if you do plant them, but they need quite a deep hole because they grow upwards. The root doesn't go deeper into the soil. So the depth will determine the size of the arrowroot you harvest. So making it deep gives the best results. Having a farmhand has really made my work easy these days. I would come here and just do all the work myself. But now with the assistance, I realize I'm doing so much in a day. I have now made a target of everything I expect accomplished every day. So we do them together, and by the end of the day, we realize we have accomplished something. Of course, turning land into a beautiful home is not so easy. If you see somebody in a beautiful home with beautiful lawns, with a beautiful house in it, just know it took them time. These things don't grow overnight. It is so much work and a lot of finances go into this. So it also requires a lot of patience to have a beautiful home or that home you dream of. So this is what we are going to do every time we harvest until we have all the arrowroots in the front yard transferred to the garden. It is also a way of staggering the plants so that we don't have them getting ready at the same time because they are not for sale. They're just for my use, and I don't want them getting ready and having to harvest everything at once. I also carried with me bags of compost from our home. We have quite a lot of it there, so I've been bringing it in bits and I'm using it to fertilize the bananas. It is important to always add some compost or just manure to the bananas every 3 months if you want a good yield out of it. Everything I'm growing in this little garden of mine is for my own consumption. And in case of a surplus, I will just have to maybe just give it to a neighbor for free. It is a common practice here in the village to share our harvests, especially when we have a surplus. Something about swampy land is it gets really soggy in the rainy season, but when it comes to the dry season, it also gets so dry that it cracks. A typical characteristic of clay soil. So now that the rains have subsided and we are expecting a drought to follow, I want to make sure that my plants remain healthy and moist during the dry season. So we cut a lot of grass in the yard. You remember the other time when it was so bushy? It was cut and all that grass is saved and it is now dry, and we are going to use it to mulch the bananas and all the trees in the yard to keep them moist. I do not want to lose all this I've worked so hard for just because of a simple mistake. So mulching is quite easy. It's just putting the grass on the soil surface around and inside the banana trees. The grass will rot and break down and will also form part of the compost. And because the soil moisture doesn't escape easily through the grass, then the soil will stay moist. As I've told you before, when I bought this land, I didn't know it was swampy because I bought it in the dry season and it looked like just the perfect land to buy. So the moment I realized it was swampy land, I was so devastated. But then with time and with a bit of research, I've just learned how to manage it in every season, and it has become very productive. Knowing what to plant and when to plant it has really helped me. So I've made a stopover at the workshop, and that workshop over there is where I'm going. And this guy keeps hiding. Every time I come, the shop is always open, but when I come in, he kind of disappears from the other door. And it's the same case today. There's nobody in the workshop. So this is what I was making, which is a picnic table, which I'm going to place somewhere under the huge bishop tree. It's just a place I'd love to chill out under the tree. So this has been like this for the last 3 months. I don't know why this guy can't complete this thing. In Kenya, we say the only good artisan is a barber who shaves your hair and you go with it. I'm back home and it's a beautiful afternoon. It's cloudy, but looks like it's not gonna rain today, which is really nice. We are enjoying that break. So we have this chicken that have been laying eggs along the fences. So every day we just have to check for eggs along the fences. So I'm sharing this recipe with you today so that we can cry together. So a while back I was watching recipes on Instagram. Then I came across this avocado cake recipe. It was this nice green cake that I was so excited about and I couldn't wait to try. And the day came when I had to try it. So I started mixing my ingredients as I followed how it was made on Instagram. I mixed everything. It looked quite beautiful. I kept adding ingredient after ingredient and mixing just as they are directed. I'm always really excited to share these recipes with you, but not this one. Please don't try this at home. I don't know why some people lie about these recipes, because what they show us is quite good, but then when you follow the instructions they have given, it just gives you something different. So this is yesterday I was trying to make this cake and I've just brought it so that we can cry together, because it was such a waste of my time and a waste of my ingredients. For those of us who cook in their videos, please always make sure you give people the accurate ingredients and the procedures. So after mixing everything as usual, then lastly came the avocado, which I mashed very nicely and added to my batter. Then I greased my pan and poured in the butter and put it in the oven, set it at the right temperature, and waited for my cake. After about 50 minutes, I thought the cake was ready, so I took it out. I tried to check using some wooden toothpick, and it still seemed soggy, so I put it back in the oven for another 20 minutes. And when I got it out, guys, I was so shocked. To cut the long story short, that cake was not edible. I threw it out, and even the hens couldn't eat it. They tried and left it there. But that did not kill my spirit of baking yesterday. I proceeded and baked my usual vanilla cake, which I know offhand. I didn't have to follow anybody's directions. So for this, what do we call it, avocado cake, I wouldn't advise you try unless you have another recipe, guys. You can share that with me, because the cake that I saw really looked beautiful and I really wanted to make it. Thank you for hanging out with me today and always, and I look forward to your comments. Bye bye for now. I'll see you in the next one.